Hey everybody, I just thought I would pop on and do a quick little reading for y'all. I feel like I love, my guilty little pleasure is watching general readings on YouTube, and I just feel like there's so much out there right now focusing on not only love and heartbreak and but it's focusing on the other person or on somebody else's energy, and I just wanted to be intentional about putting something out there in the space regarding taking your power back and being more empowering, and um, just see what spirit can show you or highlight in your mind and in your spirit, as far as what you can do to step deeper into your authenticity, deeper into knowing your own power, who you are, how you can respond to, oh, it's just a little dish mat. I don't have my normal stuff, so it's fine. Whoopsie. How you can respond to heartbreak or disappointments or when other people let you down. It doesn't mean we're capable of holding the ache and the love in the same hand, right? You don't have to, just because something hurts emotionally, is painful, it doesn't mean that it's not like a free pass to go spiral, right? I mean, cry if you must, let it out, feel what you need to feel. But I feel like there's a fine line between releasing your emotions and feeling what you need to feel and ruminating and staying stuck in a mental loop. And a lot of times when we get in that zone of just like going around and around and around, we start to blame ourselves. We don't have like a clear, kind of lose touch of reality. And I wanted to ask, Holy Spirit, what we can do as a collective to keep our vibration high and to take... Lily wants to be high vibing too, huh, Lily? Come here. Lily, come here, Lily. Come here. You want some pets? Want some love? She's like a 1.5-year-old pit bull. She's so cute, but her bark is so loud. Anyway, I just thought we could put something out there as far as, tapping into healing energy instead of focusing outward on another person or on the energies that hurt us or abandon us or the energies that aren't serving our highest good. You know what I mean? Let's see what we can do to empower ourselves to evolve and grow and expand even through the ache. So let's see. Holy Spirit, thank you so much for connecting me to whomever is viewing this right now. And all my readings are timeless. So whenever this video finds you, it finds you, and there's always something in it that you can grab onto. Lily, come here. I like her new collar. So I just ask that you would soothe every broken heart right now, every person seeking answers, every soul in pain or feeling separated from a loved one, whether platonic, romantic, whatever, anybody in pain right now. I ask that you would just reveal truth, support, guidance, love, and just wash over them with your supernatural peace that we'll never fully understand ourselves. But I just bind anything negative, anything rooted in fear, anything that seeks to cause strife, anxiety, depression, confusion, double-mindedness. We bind all that shit, and I loose your supernatural love, joy, and peace to flow through every fiber of every viewer's being, body, soul, spirit, heart, mind, will, and emotions. All right, guys, let's get started. Let's see what we can do for ourselves. And you know what? My eyes landed on my little bowl of charms. Let's grab a little handful of these. These aren't, I have better ones, but they're in my suitcase with my studio stuff. Because I hauled all my Etsy, my lighting, my car, everything. I took everything with me to the Netherlands. And then I couldn't afford to bring it back because my suitcases were too heavy. So a friend of mine is holding them for me until I can get them. But let's see what we got. Okay, we have a little alligator, this little guy. I'm just going to go over these, and then as we go through the reading, we'll see what will jump back out to us, we have the letter T. This could be somebody's initial. Got a glove, or Mickey Mouse's glove, if you want to get that specific. We have a sticker that says be kind. We've got a little lollipop. A fan. I smudged the mat here with Palo Santo. What else do we have? We've got the number 6. I've got a bow. We've got some Baileys, or if you want to look at this as like popping some champagne instead of Baileys, but who doesn't love some? I actually love a BFK, Bailey's, Kahlua, and Frangelico. Frangelico is hazelnut liqueur. So good. Hot coffee, delicious. And then we have La Luna. So we have the moon. This is super tiny, the smallest tarot cards out there. So we have La Luna, the moon, and we have the High Priestess. So there's definitely something here about intuition and the mysteries of things that someone may, you may be highly intuitive, highly empathic, highly sensitive, and you can pick up on energies that are typically hidden to others, but to you it's just like second nature. So already off the bat, what I'm feeling from these charms is like an element of childlike wonder, not childishness, where it's like, okay, you need to grow up, but more like tapping into your inner child and finding the things that bring satisfaction or joy or happiness just in the small little things, like maybe Saturday morning cartoons growing up, getting a sweet or a treat. I remember growing up, my mom would always let us pick one little treat at the store whenever we went with her on a grocery trip. She'd be like, okay, you can pick one little thing. Back in the day when candies were like 25 cents, right? And then we have the letter T. We've got a fan. So maybe somebody needs to cool off. Maybe they're a little hot to trot. We've got be kind. I feel like there's a gift on the horizon for someone. And then looking at this, what I'm seeing is liquid courage. So someone may be feeling cowardly, or maybe feeling like they're unable to approach or confront a situation or face their fears, and they may be leaning on some kind of crutch or vices that have served in the past but are no longer effective now. And then the number 6, which the reason I had this dice was I was going to number some decks and then roll the dice, but I never numbered my decks. So we'll just take the 6th card out of my flower deck. Ready? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Forget-me-nots. Always remain true to your intentions. I love forget-me-nots. They're just teeny tiny little blue flowers. And typically I associate that with like remembering a loved one or remembering someone who really impacted your life. But right now, today, I'm feeling this is about forget-me-not, as in forget myself not. Don't forget yourself. Don't abandon yourself. Remember the little girl, the little boy, the little you buried in there, hiding in the dark, all alone, who's been abandoned over and over and over, not only by others, but by yourself throughout your life. And now it's time to shine a light on those dark corners of your heart, of your psyche, and hold that little you's hand and say, I've got you and I'm not letting go. We're in this together. Yeah, this be kind to yourself, to your inner child, some kind of reparenting here, shining a light on the quote-unquote darkness or your flaws, or the things that may have, the things that bring shame, like things that you hide that maybe nobody else knows. And we get to shine a light on that and just embrace it and say it's okay. It's okay. Be kind to yourself. Self-compassion. Victoria, you're okay. It's okay. She took the dogs into her room because they're playing with dog toys. Squeaky. They love the squeaky toys. All right, so we are going to learn what we can do to empower ourselves through heartbreak, right? Okay, so I have this love and relationships deck, affirmations. I feel drawn to this right now. Let's get a message from here or two. We have some dinos, no scorekeeping. No scorekeeping. I cut ties with past conflicts and make my personal life a clean, shiny slate. Beginning this moment, everything is new. When an old grievance repeats itself in my head, I introduce it to my new head tenants. Tolerance and equanimity. Equanimity. However you say that word. Then I give it its stupid t-shirts and records back and tell it to leave. Okay, well, I guess this is applicable because oftentimes in romantic connections, we find ourselves attached to somebody for whatever reason who's really not so great for our highest good, right? And for whatever reason, we allow them to come back in, or we allow ourselves to be sucked back in. Love bombing, hoovering, all those textbook techniques that other broken people use to, it's that push-pull dynamic. And you're done with that here. You're saying no more. Take your stupid records, take your t-shirt, and get out of here. Get, shoot. Shoot fly, don't bother me. Shoot fly, don't bother me. Anyway, so this is really good. It's a good way to remember your strength, your power. You get to say who you allow into your energetic field. Not that, and that's so hard because so often, I think throughout my life, I've felt like, no, I'm not gonna not love people. I'm just gonna be loving me, and it could be viewed as like a trauma response to just shut off that faucet, cut off the love, but it's not. It's just having boundaries, right? It's okay to have a fence around your garden and to tend to your garden and to allow visitors in and out. But if somebody's going to come visit your beautiful garden that you've spent your entire life tending to and weeding and nurturing and stomp all over everything, then you would be like, excuse me, explaining them, excuse me, as I cough. And maybe with me having like a scratch in my throat just now, maybe some of you watching right now, that's been your area for opportunities to speak up for yourself, right? I know that was something I'll probably always have to work on that, but your throat chakra may be blocked, and you may be needing to actually tell someone in your life your truth and how you've experienced the connection, whether they want to acknowledge it or not. Because a lot of times these kinds of people are very dismissive, emotionally manipulative. It's all about them, or they kind of like mind fuck you into thinking you hurt them, they're the victim, that kind of stuff. So maybe someone watching right now needs to reclaim their voice, speak their truth, and say, when you came into my garden, this is an analogy, and when you trampled on my little forget-me-nots, or when you trampled on my roses or my daisies, I felt disrespected. I felt like what mattered to me doesn't matter to you. And if they respond with laughing at you or repeated behavior, repeated offenses, then you are well within your rights to say leave, get out. Take your records, take your t-shirts, take your shit and get out of my energy, get out of my field, get out. And it's not unloving. In fact, that's an act of love. For who? For you. For your inner child. For the person inside of you who's felt abandoned over and over and over every time you allow someone to come in and repeat, offend, right? Hurt you over and over and over again. So I feel like this is a great highlight on the need to speak your truth and to uphold boundaries. And maybe even further, maybe further than just upholding strong boundaries is cleaning house, burning bridges, cutting ties. And I feel like, personally, maybe this is woo-woo, maybe this is weird, but whenever I feel like somebody has repeatedly disrespected me, or they've done something that's, in my book, literally unforgivable, had somebody steal my voice once. They took my voice clip and plugged it into their AI and created their own AI artist with my voice. Anyway, sorry, that's just one example. So I instead of confronting this person, because I know narcissists, sociopaths, they don't have any remorse, right? They don't care. They don't give a fuck. They're just going to do what they're going to do, and confronting them in the 3D isn't going to do shit. So I said, all right, let's deal with this on where it starts, because everything starts energetically, right? Or in the unseen, in the spiritual realm. So I just closed my eyes and imagined. I guess I'll spare you guys the whole thing that I went through. But whenever I need to cut ties with somebody who does something harmful, or who I feel like it's burn the bridges time, I go into the spiritual realm and I say what I need to say. I speak my truth in love, and imagine like a chord, or it's different every time what I see, but there's always some kind of severing that takes place, and it's something I have to actually, like, in my mind's eye, see myself doing as I speak my truth. And you're cutting off their energy flow to you. You're cutting off the leaks, the leeches, the succubi, like all the parasitic latches that they've latched into your energy, into your field. And you just cut that shit off, and you release them with love and gratitude, and say thank you for the lessons, thank you for whatever, but always with gratitude, always with self-respect and kindness, and just resolute, like firm, like I'm done with you. I'm done. This connection is no longer beneficial for either one of us. So I release you. You're not my problem. I forgive you. I let you go, or whatever. And just picture them just fading off. However you want to do it. Ooh, sensuality. So, sensuality, and this color of this card literally matches the color of this asshole's t-shirt and records are running off with their goods, right? So this is very specific. Somebody out there may be dealing with a sex addiction with somebody that they can't break free from. Maybe you keep allowing them back in because the sex is great, or that like primal that connection between the two of you, that part of it is just something that seems really fulfilling to you. But let me tell you, that's as good as it may be. It gets so much better when you actually feel safe, when your nervous system is responding with like regulation and peace and connection with someone else. That's way better sex than something like hot and steamy and primal. Like, yeah, there's a time and place for everything, right? But like, I feel like you're settling. Somebody who's staying connected to someone like this, you may not realize it, but you're settling for something far less amazing than what an actual connection will bring you in the bedroom and out of the bedroom. All of it, actually. And I'll not go into all that, but do remember that every time you sleep with somebody, there's an actual real energy, transference of energy. I was just talking to my daughter about this last night at dinner. We were talking about sex, and she was telling me she's waiting until she's married, and which is her choice. And I used to be like that, and I failed, but I admire, her stance and her take on her reasons behind not connecting with somebody sexually until she has commitment and a safe structure set in place, where she can feel safe to express herself. And it was so funny because we were having Thai food together, and I don't know, I don't know how this topic came up. We were talking about it, and she's like, ew, I can't even, it just, honestly, Mom, it just grosses me out. I can't even like think about it. I go, oh, it feels good. I was like, it feels good, and it's just, don't just do it with anybody though. Like, it's so important. And then I started talking about like the transference of energy, and then we were talking about like, she's like, oh, don't worry. But she was like, ew, and I'm like, I go, nothing's wrong with you. I go, don't feel like something's wrong with you, because she's almost 20, and like her friends all, talk about their relationships, and sex is like a common thing, I think young adults talk about, especially girls, they all like vent to each other. But I said, nothing's wrong with you for feeling this way. I go, you just need to feel safe. And I said, as soon as I said those words, she broke down crying. And then I started crying. Not, we weren't like ugly crying, but it was just like tears wouldn't stop. And both of us were, it was so funny. We're sitting there like stuffing our faces with, we both were having curry. I don't know what kind of curry she got, but I had I love massaman curry. So we're crying sitting at a booth in public, crying, eating Thai food together. But it was really actually a special moment, and I just really got to share my mistakes with her, and how not understanding that the spiritual ramifications, because I grew up with the religious shame, like God says no, you're gonna go to hell if you have sex before you're married. It didn't make sense. But now that I understand like energy and frequency and like the spiritual side of things and the quantum, like just now that I understand those things, and I don't fully understand it yet, but I do know that I'm not connecting with someone on that level unless I absolutely positively feel safe and emotionally, mentally, spiritually connected on all levels, But it was cool to be able to talk to her about, open up about things like that. And I don't think a lot of parents have that option or ability to speak freely about this kind of stuff with their kids. So and we don't always talk, like this is actually a rare conversation, but I think it was good. It was healing, and it gave me like a peek into her heart. Anyway, so talking about sensuality, I didn't even read you the card yet. So it says, embracing sensuality doesn't necessarily mean you're a middle-aged swinger. It simply means you're savoring one of the coolest aspects of being live, sensory input. It's time to get decadent and reward yourself with gifts for the senses. You could drop a wad of cash on champagne and chocolate, or you could tune in and enjoy the incredible gifts around you, the taste of an orange, the sounds of the forest, the texture of corduroy. I don't know your life. The point is, it's time to savor whatever your senses can grab a hold of, even if that means you're being sensual. Gross. That's so funny. And look, I said I know it's Bailey's, but I'm like, or this could be like champagne. So no shame. I just really feel compressed to say, release any shame surrounding sensuality, sex, small things that bring you comfort, champagne, alcohol, whatever vices that you may have that bring you joy, indulge in them. Allow yourself to feel everything without shame, free of shame, because that's a bitch. Shame is a bitch. Anyway, so these cards came up, and I really feel like that's a message for somebody out there who is being hoovered or love bombed, or just maybe they're using sex as a tool to hook you and pull you back in and keep you in an unhealthy connection or an unhealthy dynamic. So this reading is about taking your power back. Just realize that you have friends, you have people who care about you, and you don't need to hide in shame even when you do go back, even if you are giving into a back and forth dynamic. I think we've all been there, we've all done that. And the more you beat yourself up about it, the less likely you'll learn from it and grow stronger, because it's when you really understand your own value and your own worth, that's what gives you the strength to stop going back to people who don't value you. You know what I mean? So don't give yourself grace, I guess is what I'm saying. Even if you find yourself still desiring someone who's isn't good for you, or isn't good for your soul, isn't good for your heart or mind. I love this girl on Instagram, Jenny Donovan, or I don't know how to say her name, but I heard her once give a little reel speech. She always talks into a little microphone, and she's beautiful. But she said, if he can't hold your heart, he can't hold your body. Like, so if somebody doesn't know how to hold you with respect and love and kindness and compassion and grace. They don't deserve what you can offer them physically, sexually. So just keep that in mind. It's so much better when you give of yourself from a place of connection, true intimacy, which is outside of the bedroom, which is where you feel safe enough to show every aspect of who you are, every corner of your heart and mind. And somebody has proven to be able to hold that with an open hand and respect. And not just respect, but honor where you're coming from, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And then adding physicality or sexuality to that, it's so much sweeter. Anyway, okay, enough on that. Let's get a self-love card. My presence is my power. Today I show up for me. Yeah, we were talking about self-abandonment. Today I show up for me. No more abandoning yourself to make others feel comfortable. No more shrinking yourself to make others feel comfortable. Find the support. You've got a support network. Even if it's just one person, even if it's just me, shoot me a message. Like, you don't have to return over and over and over to the people who don't value you, right? Okay, let's tap in. I'm going to use my little unicorn deck. It's one of my first decks of cards that I got. And my daughter grabbed it. She's the almost 20-year-old. And I started learning tarot when my kids were away from me. And they came back. They hopped on a plane and ran away back to me. And she grabbed this deck and just was messing with it. And the cards that came out told our story, their story, exact. It was crazy. And every time she wants to, she's curious, she'll just grab this deck, and it's always so accurate. And I don't understand how that works, but pretty cool. All right, for my viewers who may be dealing with low self-worth or self-abandonment, or who need to know that they are worthy of being cherished and pampered and known down to the childhood memories. Someone who needs to be reminded of their value and their worth. What message? What advice do you have for them right now? Okay, so we have a King of Pentacles in reverse. 2 of Wands, 3 of Cups, bottom of the deck, King of Wands in reverse. Wow. 2 of Cups in reverse, so the opposite of love, bonding, competition, struggle. This is definitely like player energy, or maybe somebody with super selfish, liar, very magnetic, probably hypersexual. And there's this clashing of egos, this struggle. Maybe you're wanting commitment from them, but they're unable to give it to you because they don't have the capacity to even love themselves, much less love you. And same as over here, we have this King of Pentacles in reverse. This is more masculine energy operating from their shadow aspects, not choosing a higher path for themselves. And we have 2 of Wands, which is like making a decision. And I just feel like the best way that you can move forward and move away from this toxic cycle, or from constantly abandoning yourself, self-abandonment, is to lean towards your people, your friends, even however small your support system is, even if it's just one person, even if it's just yourself, like just journaling to yourself. I feel like you are on the cusp of returning back to a place of euphoric, momentary high that ends with another discard and another painful ending. Oh, it's a cycle, right? It just keeps happening. So I think this time you choose you're looking at this King of Pentacles and you're like, have they changed? Are they different? Do they love me? What's going on here? Or do I know they're this way and I don't care? I just want to feel better in the moment. I feel like the message that's coming through for you is to choose good conversations, good company, good friends, people who lift you up, encourage you, who make you laugh. Laughter is so healing. Oh my gosh. Laughter, I love being the weirdo that makes everybody laugh, even at the expense of myself. So, but we definitely have masculine energy that is manipulative. Yeah, look at it's totally showing me the love bombing. Here's the Knight of Cups coming in, offering their cup of love to you, right? I love you. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I see this in you. And what was I thinking? Blah, blah, blah. Then we have the Magician in reverse, which is all about manipulations, illusions. Seven of Pentacles in reverse, zero intent to commit to any kind of growth or investment. King of Swords. This is very intelligent. This is like Virgo to be. I don't even know if King of Swords represents a Virgo or not, but I always associate this with a Virgo personality. Somebody who's very cerebral, intelligent, not very in tune with their emotions. Two of Cups in reverse, the one-sided love, like unrequited love, and this push-pull dynamic with the Five of Wands and the failure, the corruption, the materialism, the player vibes. And maybe you're attracted to their stability or sense of I'm someone who's attracted to intelligence. Like just hearing how their mind works is so hot to me. So maybe you're attracted to this King of Swords, like, oh my gosh, I love how their brain works. I love how logical they are. I love, especially for somebody who's very emotional. And so that's attractive because it's it's balanced things out for you. But I definitely see a push-pull dynamic here of something that's like love bombing, hoovering, manipulation, no intent for commitment or even honoring you in any way other than in the bedroom. So definitely your advice here is to take back your power. Your presence is your power. And so what I mentioned earlier about being in your garden and pulling the weeds and just growing the beauty around you, your environment, inside and outside, just internally, externally, everything that is you, that represents who you are, where you're going, your life, your essence, that is a gift. And it's your power. Like your garden, you're allowed to have a gate and you're allowed to lock that gate. And so if somebody is not honoring you, if they're walking into your space and trampling on your beautiful roses and the things that you're growing and your growth and your heart, if they have continually proven with pattern behavior to not cherish you, honor you, respect you, love you, because let's be honest, respect is love. If somebody doesn't respect you, they don't love you. You're absolutely within your right to cut them off from your presence. And that's actually a very logical response. When my kids were little, I took these classes called Love and Logic, and it's about parenting with logic, Like, oh man, I'm so sorry. That's so sad that you chose to do A, B, C, and D. Unfortunately, those behaviors mean these are the consequences, and I really don't want to ground you, but you chose to do this. So it's like, I'm so sorry. This sucks. You chose to treat me like an option or dispose of me or disregard my emotions. You're not crazy for having a natural emotional response to circumstances in your life. And I feel like a lot of people like to twist that and make you feel like you're unstable. I've had that happen to me multiple times. And it's like, I've stood up for myself. I'm like, listen, I'm not crazy. I'm not screaming. I'm not yelling. I'm literally explaining to you how I feel because of these things. And it's okay for me to voice that. I'm allowed to have an emotional response to life, So when people show you who they are, turn off the faucet, lock the gate, and say, no, not today. Not today, Satan. Take your power back. And take the energy that you were putting out for someone else into yourself, into your garden, into your life, your goals, your dreams. Level up, level up, level up. Ciara has that song, level up, level up, level up. And we have the moon and the high priestess, remember? Excuse me. Whew. Something here about hidden emotions, intuition. Your soul knows, you know on a higher level what you should do. And it's really important to tap into that knowing and to back yourself up and support yourself, even with small little rewards. And to attend to the inner child within you as well. That will also aid you in upholding these boundaries and keeping out the foxes out of the hen house, per se. Definitely let your friends help you. Choose yourself, choose other things that bring you joy, other people, other friends, ideas. I hope this was empowering for y'all. I'm going to, my eyes just won't stop. I know this is for lovers, but I'm going to pull from here. My eyes won't stop landing on this deck of cards. There's a message in here. Okay. Oh, a message for you. I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. Take it as it resonates. You can say this to yourself, I love you. I love you, little Susanna. I love you. You've been through so much in your life, and everybody has abandoned you at every turn, except me. I'm not abandoning you now. I'm with you. From here on out, we're doing this together. I love you. Love yourself. Feed yourself. Your presence is your power. Cut the motherfuckers out. Give them back their shit and say, be gone with you. Shoo. Take back your power. Don't willingly enter into this cycle again. Break the loop. Level up, level up, level up. And enjoy the people around you who feed your soul, who see you for you, who value you and lift you up. I love you. Mwah, mwah. And I'll see you tomorrow.